I have, I don't know the right English word for it, but I have a kind of an angel that looks after me. And if this wouldn't be there, I wouldn't be here now.
Hi, wat leuk dat je weer luistert naar Vliegpraat, de podcast over paragliden, waarbij je wordt bijgepraat over de ins en outs van deze sport. Gemaakt door mij, Harro Brouwer. In deze aflevering reis ik naar het buitenland, naar Oostenrijk, om daar te praten met Pascal Purin. Hij is een zeer ervaren piloot, deed onder meer 2 keer mee aan de Red Bull X-Alps en nu doet hij van alles, zoals cursussen geven, Alpencoaching, aan ervaren en minder ervaren piloten. Pascal is iemand met een rijke ervaring die ook nog eens goed kan vertellen. En praten wilde hij ook graag met Vliegpraat, want hij heeft een missie. En die komt hierop neer: piloten leer je grenzen kennen. Tijd voor een gesprek dus, alleen wel in het Engels. Nou ja, vooruit dan maar.
Yes, hello. My name is Pascal Purin. And surprisingly, I'm sitting here with Harro now. Harro, sorry.
You can call me Harry. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's easier.
It's not a
Harro.
common name.
I didn't know you were pronouncing my name.
Yeah, but it's glad to be here with you and talk a little bit about paragliding, yeah? I started paragliding with the age of 9. And since 12, actually, I wanted to be a test pilot because I found my way to the Aachensee in Tyrol in Austria, and I saw the big guys there like Mario Eder or Mike Küng and Walter Holzmüller testing their prototypes there, and for me those guys were the heroes. And since that I really grew into the paragliding world. I learned with Jürgen Kraus and Christa Vogel the world of testing and developing paragliders back at the days at Skywalk. And later on, my paragliding journey went through some different paragliding brands and also working as a test pilot at the homologation company with the EAPR. And also I did the X-Alps twice. And now I'm a test pilot and photographer for FI. And I'm doing my cross-country tours in Carinthia. And have a good life, enjoy the paragliding, and that's about me.
So all your life is actually paragliding?
Yeah, for the last 24 years, actually, there was the main topic was paragliding, yeah.
When did you make your first flight?
That's a funny story. I have to give me maybe 2 minutes to give you a nice picture. Because my dad used to fly, and when I was 9 years old, we moved in Vorarlberg from Dornbirn to Bregenz, and my dad threw away his old paraglider. It was one from back in the days, 1987 Pro Design, big wing, and harness, just a seat board and no protector, and that's it. And my dad threw it away. And my brother and I, we took it out of the garbage and went for paragliding, kind of. He didn't know. And, I knew some videos and saw my dad landing in the garden, and I knew a little bit some things about the concept of inflating the glider and bringing it up. And but in Bregenz, we hardly have wind. There is no wind at all. And there was this one day when there was a thunderstorm.
Okay, now it comes.
And I thought, that's the day of the days. Today we really have serious wind. And I couldn't wait. Normally I drove with my bicycle to a field, and I didn't want to waste time, and I just went to the church place. It was all strong ground, and the church left side of me, from the back strong wind, and in front of me was my religion's teacher's house. And I inflate the glider, and immediately I got smashed against the floor, and the glider was blown up the roof, and me thrown up the roof, and I thought, fuck, now something bad will happen, I don't know. And then for a few seconds, I can't remember what happened. The next thing I know is that I'm hanging in my harness just a meter above the ground. I was falling down, and the lines got taut at the rooftop, and nothing has happened. Yeah, that was one of my first serious flights, actually. And since it happened all at the church place and ended up at the religions teacher's house, we saw it. It's a sign from God that I will do paragliding much more. I swear it's 100% the truth. Yeah, that really happened to me. And my angels, which look after me, had a really stressful afternoon, I guess. But yeah. We're a great team. 9 years. Yeah, pretty young for a large glider with 35 kilogram of weight.
So did your parents find out?
Yeah, my religion teacher asked me if I will tell my dad or if he has to do it.
What happened?
And then I told him, no, I will do it. No, don't mind, I'll do it. Yeah, and I told him, and yeah, he thought, what? Yeah. Now it happened already. What should we do? Yeah, but good to know that we have his wing. Yeah.
And then you continued flying.
I continued. Yeah, I continued working so much on the ground handling. I think that made me quick, good in piloting because you learn so much from doing only ground handling. And I had to wait until I was 14 to work on my glider's license. And then for another 2 years, I had to just fly with the flight school. So I could immediately do a lot of safety trainings and was big time supported by the flight school, Flugschule Aachensee, with Christa Vogel and Eki Maute at that day. And yeah, it worked out pretty good. A funny story, when I was 15, I was my dad was somewhere and I flew a competition in my neighborhood. And the competition was very interesting, but the next days we flew like 80 kilometers distance. It was my first big cross-country flight. And in the evening, I called my dad and told him the story. And he was angry that I went flying without him knowing, and I didn't even have a license. Then he was proud at me that I flew so far. And he also was jealous because he never flew so far by himself. So it was a crazy mixture of feelings. But yeah, I was so much into the paragliding world, nobody could stop it. Yeah, when I was 16, I did my first work at Skywalk at Zubi as a test pilot. Jürgen Kraus showed me the world of testing, and since that, I'm mostly test pilot. Yeah.
What do you feel while you're up in the air?
Well, paragliding for me is a place where I'm kind of home because I've spent so much time in the air, and it's kind of an entrance in a different world, as everybody I think feels. Jin Seok Song brought it to the point back in the days. He said, "Flying is something what you can never have on the ground." And I think this fits perfectly because the silence, the freedom, the peaceful situations, the challenging situations, to play with nature, with the invisible, understanding the rules up there. And what's nice, they're just physical rules. No rules regarding whatever we have with law or car driving or whatever. You just do what you can manage and what you want. And I think the possibility we have with a paraglider nowadays, with the little weight and package and doing bivouac flying or stuff, it's just beautiful. I think this is a privilege we have. We should know that only a few people can do this sport on this planet. And also, if you look back in the days, we are the first generation who can have access to such easy flying. So I always, when I do my cross-country lessons, my cross-country coachings, we talk a lot about this stuff because, there are people who fly 170 kilometers and their friend flew 175 and then they say, wow, fuck, bad flight, whatever. And they didn't understand in this situation that they were allowed to fly so far, so long through beautiful nature, and that's the focus we should have, I think, and not the amount of kilometers or the competition style. Sometimes when I walk up a mountain with my ultralight gear and I take off and I just sit in the harness and look around. And we went to a really high mountain and at 3,900 meters you just put out your glider and 20 minutes later you're at the car. Everybody else who walks up has to walk down again. It's like cheating kind of. It's very luxury. Yeah.
So what are you doing right now?
Well, at the moment, I work for FI as their test pilot, and I do a lot of the technical photography work we do nowadays with the prototypes, and I do the shootings for the commercial pictures we need and stuff. Being part of a company is a really great feeling because you're really in the core of the scene actually, and working with Hannes Papes and the FI team is a great honor for me because this is really where I feel home, and we have a great team. It makes a lot of fun, and Hannes, it's just incredible how we can work, how he manages the prototypes, and it's great fun. It's safe working also nowadays being a test pilot. It's not, you don't have to be such a big hero like 10, 15 years ago. And also I do cross-country courses, Alpen coaching, I call it.
That's your own company?
That's my own company, yeah. It's called Into the Sky, intothesky.at. It's my homepage. You can find information there if you're interested. And yeah, what I do now is I like to share what I learned in testing, what I learned in X-Alps. I think paragliding is mostly a mental sport. If you're strong in your mind and if you have some nice solutions for special situations in paragliding, if you have access to different perspectives, then I think paragliding can be done very safe and very good and very fulfilling, yeah. And this is what I'm trying to share now with the Alpen coaching. Yeah, I look for very small groups, only 7 people, and it's 5 days around Carinthia. We are very close to Slovenia and Italy. We fly in many different places normally and have a good time. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Can you elaborate a bit more on X-Alps?
X-Alps was awesome. It was first attempt was 2015. And 2015 was great because we did like 90% of the mistakes you could possibly do. We learned a lot. It was very frustrating in the beginning. But yeah, basically spoken, you can say we fucked up big time at the first attempt. And
you say we?
Yeah, we as a team. Well, mostly myself, of course. Actually, the pressure I made myself regarding the live tracking put me under such big pressure. I always thought that somebody is watching me flying and crosses his hands above his head and thinks, oh no, what is he doing now? But this picture, it was just happened inside my mind. Nobody told me that story, that this actually happened. I was creating it by myself, and this put me under so deep pressure that I really, I was flying so badly and I had to walk so much and we did so many mistakes. I was in really bad shape, yeah, straight on. And
ended up what place?
Well, I had to quit. Yeah, I didn't, we had to stop at some stage. But in 2017, I changed that picture to a picture I learned from a wonderful Michael Jackson music video where he is in a big football arena and like crazy Michael Jackson concert like we know them. And he was playing Heal the World, Make It a Better Place, and the people went crazy. And I took this picture that the people who watch me in live tracking, they're just going nuts. What other crazy solution I found and where I find a lift and how crazy, look how quick he is. I chose this picture for me to feel secure, to feel safe, to be creative, to be motivated, and this changed so much. I had 2 flights, more than 200 kilometers. I had a few 150 kilometer flights, and this brings you to Monaco very close. Yeah. And still, And this is the part I don't have so much in my personality. It's the competition thing. For me, it always have to be safe. And I want to, there is a life after X-Alps. And it's not like it's kind of interesting in any financial form. So I had to bring it home safe anyway. And like the whole X-Alps 2017 was all in the green area. I didn't have any dangerous or bad situation, neither on the ground nor in the air. So this was a perfect thing for us. My supporter, Gabi, it's my wife now. She supported me 2015 and 2017, and alone what we learned together as a team there is helping us nowadays in a very good manner. So 2015 was very bad, but 2017 was awesome. And the differences were actually equipment. I had 2017, I think, the best equipment in the whole field. I could fly the Skywalk Range X-Alps harness, which still is a lovely harness, especially for such adventures. And I was one of the only one who could fly the Seno, the Z-Alps back there, and it was the perfect wing for those conditions. I was very lucky. And just a few things in perspective which we changed from 2015 to 2017 worked out so well that we could achieve the 6th place. And with we, I mean we, the whole team. It was such a lovely journey. We had a peaceful aura all the time in the whole team. There were big struggles with other teams, we heard, but that was a perfect ground to plant a lovely flower there, because every day, and I walked 630 kilometers distance in 12 days. I climbed 30,000 meters of altitude. I walked down 12,000 meters of altitude, and every single day I was feeling perfectly well. I had no pain at all. I had a perfect pain body management. I was in such a great shape. It was a lovely journey, really big time. And this is the main thing I think I share in my Alpine coachings, because the mental part of any journey, I think it doesn't matter if it's in paragliding or in other side of your life, is the mental part is the one which decides, or you decide what your mental access to whichever task is.
You sound a little bit like Ferdy van Schelven. I interviewed him twice.
Yeah. I was. We shared a lot of kilometers, Ferdy. He's a really nice guy. He helped me a few times, very nicely. Well, just sharing idea or a takeoff place, or one long flight. I was very tired, and I followed Ferdy because he was rocking the wave so wonderful, and we were just flying together. And that was. Yeah, it's a cool thing, flying with an eagle.
And he also says there's a life after X-Alps.
Yeah, very important, because it's not worth to kill yourself or bring yourself in a too risky situation. That's why a few times I decided to walk and not to fly, even if the other were flying, because I didn't see the point. And I think this is something which helped me to be so many years in this sport and to be still alive and still love and like what we do.
So that was 2017, was your last X-Alps. Would you like to compete again in X-Alps?
Absolutely no. No, I'm a father now, and I love my kids. I love to be a family dad and want to be home and playing with my children, and not 6 times a week training and having the risk and being away and stuff. No, this is something I did, what I'm proud of, what helped me, what I learned a lot, but now it's other time.
Paragliding is also a lot about safety and things that happen in the air.
Well, yeah, a few things. But in the end, as I said earlier, I really believe in that. I have, I don't know the right English word for it, but I have a kind of an angel that looks after me. And if this wouldn't be there, I wouldn't be here now. Because I had some situations where I was lucky so much. Once in a test flight, I lost my glider. I was landing only with riser, some lines, and the reserve. And once I had a bad landing where I had a little bone broken, but that was not the big story. And a few times hanging on the rescue, flying acro or in testing. So actually this test pilot thing is a good thing to do in your early 20s, because now in my early 30s I'm a little bit more settled. It's not so important for me anymore to do the highest wing over in front of the people close to the ground. I think it's a normal way of growing. But yeah, paragliding, you have to watch out. I think the most important part is do a lot of ground handling. Do a lot of ground handling. Do it, be creative, make up games, do it blind, do it in every situation you can handle. And be smart, don't make stupid mistakes, and just watch the weather, man. And because our paragliders nowadays, they're so safe, they're so good, they're so handleable. You really need to make a lot of mistakes to fall from the air. So it's actually only a question of the pilot. Yeah.
And pilots do make mistakes.
Of course they do. And I always think it's a question of skills you learn in ground handling, because this is the perfect simulator we have, and just being smart with the weather. Spring in the Alps, you have thermals up to 10-12 meters per second. It's normal. If you had a long winter break and you're driving 1,000 kilometers from the flats into the mountains and go flying, it's not a surprise that this Might is too much for this pilot. If he just flies in the morning or maybe 3 months later in the summertime, it's a completely different story. So the topic about weather, and just know in what kind of conditions you're going to end up, is a thing. I think many pilots make mistakes. And also to finish this is the question of glider. What we have nowadays in terms of glide and speed in a high A class is incredible. And to really motivated people, I think a high level B is the maximum a pilot should fly. Because you have so much safety, you have so much speed, you have so much glide, it's not worth to fly something beyond, actually, to be honest. Because it's easier in takeoff, it's in so many terms safer. It doesn't make sense to fly more, even just if you're a pilot who flies really much, Yeah.
Do you have or had fear in the air?
Of course. I think that's a natural thing. But the way you handle your fears makes the difference what solution you will get. But of course, sure, it's not every time that I think, wow, easy. If you're in a heavy lee side with bumpy conditions above the rocks, I'm very concentrated, yeah? And the fear is a path you should never go, actually. It's a mental direction you kind of choose. But of course, you have to do kind of a risk management. And I think the best thing is don't put you in stupid, dangerous situations. This is something we can learn in studying, in thinking. This is all logical. There are no big surprises, actually. It's not rocket science. Yeah. If you're just a top landing, you have to think about, is it worth it? Is it safe? Do you really need to have to do it? Or is it just an easy top landing? Alpine coaching, for example, my people were on the ground. I had to land on the top to catch a car, and it was just not worth it. I told my guys, I will hitchhike up or walk up or whatever, but it was just not safe to land. And you have to follow your feeling and just don't think about losing an hour because you were the weak guy or whatever thought you could have. So if you want to do something where you have too much surprises or unknowns, then you have to go back at your risk management to think about if it's worth it. But yeah, this is something that we can talk about hours and hours.
what is the most important thing you would like to say to pilots?
Be grateful that you can do that sport. Do a lot of ground handling, and always follow an optimistic perspective. Because in every situation, even if you are in a big thunderstorm cloud, you have options. So just it doesn't matter what happens. Keep a good picture in your mind. This is what I do. Yeah, I show the pilots the professional, the sporty way, the racy way technique of paragliding, which brings you under the base in a much safer place. It's the technique we test pilots fly actually, and this is changing the pilots in my weeks big time. I really enjoy that, and it's that works good. Yeah.
Pascal Purin, thank you very much.
Thank you very much too.
Tot zover deze Vliegpraat. De rubriek Schermfabrikanten aan het woord komt volgende keer weer voorbij. Anders werd dit een compleet Engelse show. Hopelijk heb je weer met plezier geluisterd. Positieve reviews zijn altijd welkom. Of geef even 5 sterren. Helpt de podcast ook beter vindbaar te maken. petjeaf.com/paraglidingvliegpraat is dé plek waar je eenvoudig een eenmalige donatie kunt doen. Of een thermiekabonnementje kunt afsluiten. Tips, vragen zijn altijd welkom. Stuur even een mail naar harro@hepmp.nl en vergeet je niet te abonneren op Vliegpraat in je favoriete podcast-app. Dan zie je meteen wanneer er een nieuwe aflevering online staat. Weet je jouw eerste ervaring nog aan een paraglider? Hopelijk eindigde die niet tegen een kerkgebouw. Tot de volgende!
Thank you.